Oh, so we're live.
We're live. I always think of that Dr. Steve Rule.
Yeah, that's what I was going with.
He does that. What's the show called? Do you remember?
Stevie.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm gonna grab a drink. Do you want any?
Oh, just fill me up some water.
Sure.
Thank you, pal.
Are you done with this?
Oh yeah. Thank you, Mrs. Higginbottom.
Next thing you know, I'm gonna wear jean shorts.
Yeah. Oh. Hello. Dallas and New Orleans. We're watching the game. We have New Orleans. Oh, apparently Ezekiel Elliott has a nose piercing now. Jason Witten's bald now too. Jeez. All right. 1st and 10, 25 Cowboys. Great catch. Is that Cooper? Yeah, it's Cooper. I'm not good with numbers. I don't know why. I have a great memory, but not for remembering people's numbers. Big Rye does better than I do. It's probably the only thing he remembers better than I do. But such is life. Also, I have no direction. I don't understand how to get anywhere. Sorry, what was that, Josh? What was this week? Week 4? Ooh, thanks, Mrs. Featherbottom.
No problem.
Yeah, we're in first somehow. We have New Orleans in the contest, so we'll see. Big Ray did a good job displaying the information. Nice pass to Witten, who sits in the soft zone. That's 2 first downs for the Cowboys. So I believe Josh Klein's hurt. So Kiko Alonso, who they had traded for with the Dolphins, is starting this game, it looks like, for the New Orleans Saints.
They even signed Stephon Anthony this week.
Well, he used to play for them. They drafted him, so.
Yeah. Anthony's been bouncing around the league. I know it's a guy you couldn't believe.
I thought he was really good coming out of college. I'm surprised it didn't come to fruition. Oh, AJ Klein's playing, so I didn't see him in the inactives, but I just didn't think that they'd both be out there.
They lost. Who did they lose? Demario Davis is there. Klein's there. Alonso's there. They lost one guy though. I'll check who. They had 4 respectable guys.
You should see Cameron Jordan's facial hair right now.
I think it's Craig Robertson that's injured.
Yes, it is.
Whose facial hair?
Cameron Jordan. He has a Dustin Hoffman and Captain Hook look.
Yeah.
With a waxed curly mustache. He almost got a sack despite a double team.
They double teamed him there. That was a really good tackle. PJ Williams? Or is that Eli Apple? That's PJ Williams.
I don't care for either of those players.
Neither do I, but they're there.
Whatever that means. Good start for this Saints defense.
The Saints defense is really what's going to decide this game for me.
Oh, Teddy Bridgewater, too, is like still new to this. He only played his first game. He won his first start last week. I mean,
Sorry, Anzalone.
Alex Anzalone, anal zone. Some serious commercials going on right now. Could do without. No, we're getting the Canadian ones too, and they're particularly bad. Drew Brees is on the sideline, like, just working out his thumb. It's a bizarre thing. It's hard to believe someone, you have to miss that much time for a thumb, but I don't know. It looks huge right now. And Drew Brees is a bit of an Iron Man, so I don't feel bad. There's a bizarre screen to Latavius Murray. Which, you know what? That's a good... that screen's a good idea because Murray's not really a pass catcher, so it would kind of take you off guard. So catch you off guard if you were Dallas. That's a Kamara type play because he's a far better receiver. But okay, Jared Cook in at fullback. Pass got batted down by Robert Quinn. Yeah. And he played against them. He played on Miami against the Cowboys. Yeah. Well, yeah. He's not wearing a mouth guard. That's got to be a false start. Yeah, and it is. It's a bad start for the offense. The first play was nice. I liked it. Second play's not that good. And then a procedural penalty on the third play. Eric McCoy, there you go. probably like understanding Teddy Bridgewater's cadences too is a little bit of a learning curve, I would imagine, for some of the offensive lines. Nice spin move. What a throw and catch to Michael Thomas. That was fantastic. What a pass. Nice play, Teddy. That was a tough third down to convert. Bridgewater's running. And he's got a lot. There's going to be a hold on 19. Oh, come on. That's a good play by Bridgewater. These are Big Rye's favorite jerseys, the white color rush. Saints jerseys. Yeah, they do. The holding was not on number 19 receiver, it was on Teron Armstead. The left tackle. Yeah, it's a hold. Lawrence Armstrong. Dorrance. I thought it was Lawrence. I was surprised to see that Armstrong this early. Oh, man. Really bizarre interception by Teddy Bridgewater. It wasn't his fault, though. He hit Ted Ginn Jr. in the hands, and Ted Ginn knocked it into another defender. That's unfortunate. Chidobe Awuzie. Jeff Heath hit Ted Ginn in the back, and that's what caused it. He played the most snaps of any player ever, I think, last year. Yeah, because he played every defensive snap and he was on special teams. Kind of good bang for your buck for a guy who gets paid about $1 million. Commercials. Sorry, I can't fill the dead air during commercials because it's not. I don't have any energy left for that. Elliott with a weird bounce out, unlike him. He does manage to get a couple yards, but I'm even surprised at that. Saints have Sheldon Rankins playing too, which is decent. He's a starter on their offensive line, so. Prescott gets out of danger, and he it was a really nice job to take it down. There's a weird flag at the end. I want to see what this is about. Oh my, that is a complete ridiculous call by this referee. They called it unnecessary roughness on Von Bell for tackling Prescott, but I don't even. Oh, this is a travesty. What a ridiculous. You can't touch a quarterback. You actually can't touch him. The quarterback might as well just plow into the guy. What's the difference? Because if you slide and you make any sort of contact with him, they'll call they'll nag you for something. That was really. I can't handle how Nancy the quarterbacks get treated. Prescott with a completion for a first down on Jason Witten. Seems to be more active this year than he was 2 years ago. Oh, thank you. Yeah, he's probably an MVP aside from Mahomes. You know what? He's featured more than Elliott is. Yeah. I'm gonna try a piece of this. Bing. Working? Still static? Hear what it...
We're good now.
What about me? Yeah?
Good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's a nice block.
Did Dallas kick a field goal?
Yeah. Nice. That's impressive. Nice run by Taysom Hill. Very impressive. Very impressive. Man, they're doing some interesting run plays. The New Orleans Saints are. This is it's nice to see. I guess you're gonna kind of. It's good to keep doing that. Make Bridgewater's job a little bit easier, but this might come playoff time. This might not fly.
Well, that play targeted Dorrance Armstrong.
So Sean Lee, see, so I want to know this because earlier, when Prescott slid, Von Bell touched him like this in the chest area. How is that unnecessary roughness? And then slamming him after the play isn't. It's very, very position. Technically, he is slamming a quarterback, though, so shouldn't that fit in the intersectionality of referee pantheon calls?
Different Hill.
Different. Oh, it's Josh Hill. 89, not 7. There you go.
But that might be the meta. Just have 6 quarterbacks out there.
That's right. Then you can't get tackled without a flag. So technically, as long as you do a play at the line of scrimmage, every play is 15 yards.
Mm-hmm. I think the Dolphins should try it out.
Well, they have really nothing to lose. The Saints are getting jobbed again.
Who did they call it on?
They called that a hold.
On who?
Michael Thomas. This will be a holding flag, even though the sack should stand. Saints are really making a mess of this positive drive with penalties. I was impressed to keep his balance. They accepted that penalty and didn't take the sack. Oh, yeah, they declined it. Okay, good. Nice dollar defense here. Beetlejuice with the catch. I feel like the pacing of a Sunday night game is always slower. Maybe because there's less action going on around you.
Where you just go from tons of action in the morning to pretty steady action in the afternoon to just a snail's pace of one game.
I can't fill a dinner during commercials. Sorry, everyone. Some of the time, but not all the time. The advertising the Steelers Cincinnati game tomorrow, it doesn't have the same bite as it used to. Both teams are winless, and they're not. They don't seem as mean as they used to be. Either team.
Well, winning makes you tough.
And not always. Generally, winners are tough, but yeah. Saints are here for. Are going to attempt a field goal with Will Lutz. It's only a 40-yarder. Should be easy one for him. And it's good. 3-3.
So they did all those commercials just to come back to a field goal, and now it's probably back to a commercial?
It went back to commercials, and now they're back. I think they add some for the Sunday Nighter. It only makes sense. All light. I don't know who Doug Nussmeier is in the player world. John Kitna was a quarterback because he's a Cowboys quarterback's coach. Kellen Moore was a quarterback. He's a quarterback's coach. And Jason Garrett was a quarterback, and he's the head coach. Interesting. I'm assuming Doug Nussmeier is a former quarterback.
Makes sense.
So John Nussmeier was. touchback. Cowboys are offense on the field. I never like these blue Dallas jerseys. I don't know why. A strange play from the Cowboys. They made it like a fake end around, and he pump faked and then checked down to Elliott for a small gain. Klein just hurt himself walking back to his post. Then he ran off the field. That was bizarre.
Sergio saying Kirk Cousins and not the truth.
Is not the truth? Apparently not.
It's been polarizing the last few years, Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, more than very polarizing. They're still 2-2 though, the Vikings. They beat Oakland, they beat Atlanta. They lost weeks 2 and 4 to Green Bay and the Bears.
It hurts losing those division games.
Yeah. They're 0-2 in the division. Chicago's 3-1. What a return.
Deontay Harris had a touchdown last week.
He certainly did. He's got very quick feet. He's a nice returner. The one thing you always worry about those little guys is when they do take a big shot, I feel like they fumble a little bit more. I don't have data in front of me, but
they turn into Marcus Peters. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, well, Peters didn't fumble, but he took a nice shot.
How about them Buccaneers?
Pardon me?
How about them Buccaneers?
It's a nice win. It's they've had 2 impressive road victories. I don't know. I just feel like
well, there's one player to talk about on the Bucs, and it's Shaq Barrett.
Yeah, well, I don't think that's necessarily true. Mike Evans had a pretty good 2-game stretch here.
Yeah, but you're talking about Shaq Barrett for MVP.
Yes.
Who would have thought that at the start of the year?
They wouldn't.
He was thought of as a cast-off depth lineman from the Broncos.
Yeah, but it's about how you use players and how you motivate them a lot of the time, right? Because a lot of these guys are all capable of that. Like you need to be in the right situation, the right coaching, right system, and some fits are good and some aren't. This is most certainly a good fit. I mean, he's also exceeding expectation by a very wide margin. So in theory, for the rest of the year, there should be some regression to the mean, or at least regression next year.
Who's the defensive coordinator in Tampa?
Tampa Bay?
Yeah.
Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles, not much of a head coach I care for, but most certainly a defensive coordinator. Is very strong. This isn't his first time with Bruce Arians, so a big deal about Bruce Arians is he has a lot of clout in the league, and like he has a strong staff. I feel like.
There's been a lot more focus on the science behind injuries lately.
Yeah. Well, I think there's like injury percentages. We could like there's some sort of math we could figure out about the chance of someone getting hurt. I feel like that's, even though it sounds unquantifiable, I feel like at some point it will be, and we're not far off that. Nice screen to Josh Hill, the tight end.
And even with the ball getting tipped, he still made the catch. It's great focus.
It's good. It's interesting though that Josh Hill is featured a bit more than Jared Cook has been in the early part of the Saints season. Interesting though, but again, we're talking about. I just touched on guys being put in places and being right fits. Oakland does a great job of featuring their tight end, let's say, because it's not a coincidence. Jared Cook had his breakout year in Oakland last year, and Darren Waller's having the best season. He's having a better season this year than every other season he's played combined. See, no one even knows who he is, but he's fantasy relevant, so he'll slowly be creeping into household name because he's a top 10 tight end, Darren Waller.
Yeah, production-wise.
Production-wise, absolutely. Saints have another penalty against him. Holding on Eric McCoy again. This is the second primetime game that the Saints have played. The first was Houston that I believe we streamed. I watched with Big Rye regardless. And McCoy was a bit of a focal point, I feel, as far as pressure and penalties and getting beat. So he's having not a good game so far. Curious, I'd be willing to take a bet on how long Sean Lee plays before he's hurt.
5.5 games, 6.5 games.
I can say less. I don't know if he'll make it through this one. I don't know what kind of snap usage he's going to get though. He's not on the field right now because he's been usurped by the two young ones. Great catch, Michael Thomas. Nice route. Saints driving. Bridgewater with 2 pump fakes. He kind of hesitated and he screwed the pooch a bit there. He's going to get about a half yard. I'm glad he didn't hurt himself. That's the only thing I'm going to say. He was trying to float one over, but it was too dangerous, so... Run by Kamara, gets stopped for a short gain. Bridgewater gets sacked at 25-yard line. The Saints are going to have to kick a field goal here.
Malik Collins, it looks like.
Certainly was.
Teddy did a good job. He tried to step up in the pocket, but Dallas just did a good job collapsing. Not giving him anywhere to escape. At least to step forward. Collins managed to split Eric McCoy and Andreas Pete. For
The
that
two
sack.
weakest parts of that Saints line. Another Will Lutz field goal.
Good from 42. That puts the Saints up 3. And on to more commercials. Oh, you're one of your favorites. Play online. 18 plus. Everyone knows that when you play online, you got to get in the elevator.
Oh, it's a very regal endeavor to play slots online. Oh, yeah. There's a floor just for... Oh, they claim to give you the VIP treatment. I'd like to know what that means online. Are robot arms going to jump out of the computer and give you a heave-ho? Or
I guess they just don't cut your bandwidth.
Saints kicking off. Touchback.
You're talking about how successful they've been doing play action, the Cowboys. Well, it makes sense. You got the guy who pretty much leads the league every year in rushing. Speaking of play action, I'm a little confused always. When you do play action and then you throw to the running back anyways, I mean, shouldn't that be picked up? I don't know.
Well, it's assuming that they bite on the play action.
They look disorganized here in this 2nd and 7 scenario. They're trying to mask their rushers, the Saints, but they called an audible and they're not running it anymore. Wow, nice. Oh, Jason Witten. Jason Witten is hit and there's a fumble, and Von Bell recovers and runs it back for a few yards. It was nice play of Witten to get in the soft spot in the zone and be able to turn after a catch. But that Von Bell play was really nice. I don't know if it's him who knocked it out, but that was great. Let's take another look at it. Oh, it was AJ Klein. He might be down closer because Witten touched him. What a play, Klein. That was a great play. Yeah, he's down. The return's going to be negated. Well, why wouldn't they want to review this? Because then at least they get to sell us more information.
Yeah. You want to pull up the YouTube chat? Still funny to think that Marquise Brown had that huge game week 1 and only 14 snaps.
Yeah, I thought that was bizarre. Regardless, so they get the... Witten has a Man of the Year. I didn't know he was a Walter Payton Man of the Year. So anyways, he turns the ball over. Von Bell recovers it. The Saints are in business up 6-3. Bridgewater and the ball at midfield. Maybe the 47-yard line. Bizarre screen to Murray, and now there's another flag on this against the Saints. This is really sloppy from the Saints. I think they're getting jagged by the referees in general, but in this, some of these are inexcusable though. Van Der Esch is hurt. Holding on 67. I'm gonna venture that that's Eric McCoy. Larry Warford. Okay. Robert Quinn is having a pretty good effect for the Cowboys defense. It's nice to sub out Charlton for Quinn. This is another penalty, it looks like. Dallas took a timeout before the snap. Interesting. Van Der Esch is somehow back on the field. He was limping. Wow.
They've got a different player in Van Der Esch than they do in Sean Lee.
Yeah, absolutely. Sean Lee would have been out for 4 weeks at a minimum.
Yeah.
Kerry Hyder had a good start to his season 2 years ago with Detroit, leading the league in sacks, and that tapered off, and he hasn't really been able to find his footing since, but he had a nice pass rush, or a nice run stop here for the Cowboys. So 3rd and 15. Kind of squandering their turnover here, the Saints. So Josh Hill is getting the catch there, short of the first down. These penalties the Saints have taken already in this game are very costly, not in the sense that it's costing them, it's affording Dallas the points. Costly in the sense that it's taking points off the board for them.
These commercials really break up this game. It makes it hard to...
There's so little flow to it.
Yeah. It's just...
And the other thing, too, is they cut off. There was like a scuffle, kind of, and that, I mean, like, it's not part of the game, but I don't know. I kind of wanted to see what was going to happen there. It looked like there could be flags thrown. I don't want to miss a punch. No one likes missing someone getting punched.
It's true.
We're watching for violence, are we not?
Part of why we like the game.
Yeah, but they're taking the violence out of the game, which, okay. But...
Against the Chiefs, Marquise Brown played 61 snaps.
Well, he's earned his spot, that's for sure. They're actually advertising hockey. I don't remember this ever. Apparently the season starts with the Capitals and Blues playing. Nice to St. Louis to win the Stanley Cup. Never won it in their history.
That was nice.
That's a team you always liked.
Yeah. Alex Pietrangelo is a really good player.
Elliott's been really plotting this game. Lanes haven't opened up as much. Wow. In the breakdown, Malcolm Brown looked really good on that run. He's a big boy. Blake Jarwin. I hope Witten's not in the doghouse for fumbling. He's a pro.
There's no way.
Wow, Davenport clean got around Tyron Smith. You don't see that very often.
In the past, you haven't. In the last year, last season, and so far this year, it's been happening. Not often.
Not
but
often,
more than
but-
often. More than before.
Yeah, but that's
He was like unbeatable before. So now when you see him get beat, it's like, huh?
yeah, it's most certainly it's a rarity. The Cowboys are missing Michael Gallup, and I actually think he's a pretty decent receiver.
He's played really well this year. He's probably their top receiver. And that's
I don't know if Cooper has more yards than him, but
I just think Gallup has played better than Cooper
yeah.
this year.
Ooh, pass interference on Amari Cooper. That is the weakest thing I've seen. I think Carl Cheffers is officiating this game very poorly, him and his crew. At least their review won't be very good after. Probably will cause them to lose work down the stretch. They should have challenged that pass interference. I don't know. A little disagreement in the booth.
Yeah, about whether they.
About milking the clock because it's 2nd and 17, and Al Michaels used a little bit of sarcasm that clearly went over the head of former wide receiver Chris Collingsworth's head.
Not a huge surprise.
No. I'm curious how good he was for the Bengals. Someone told me he was good, but I've never actually looked up.
Collinsworth?
Yeah. He was an all-time leader for the Bengals, I think, in receiving up until AJ Green. He's 6'5". I don't know he was that big. He has 4,000-yard seasons. He made the Pro Bowl in his first 3 years in the NFL. Well, that'll do that. Rookie season, 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns for Chris Collinsworth. That's not bad. With 3 fumbles. His average AV during his full years is about 11.
That's really good. Didn't play very long, huh?
No.
7 years?
8.
8 years?
This was a strike-shortened season. He got 8 touchdowns, 1,000 yards in his rookie season. That's so bizarre. It's very good. Somehow in 86 he did make the Pro Bowl with 1,024 yards and 10 touchdowns. It didn't make the Pro Bowl in 86. All right.
Guess not. So 2nd and 17 for the Cowboys. Just after the 2-minute warning.
Elliott gets a reception. He's tackled by a trio of Eli Apple, Von Bell, and Demario Davis.
The ref was asking if Sean Payton wanted a timeout there. Did he call for it? It's hard to tell.
Yeah,
The clock stopped.
he certainly did. No, New Orleans took one.
Yeah, like they were looking at Sean Payton on the sidelines. Yeah, they put the time back on the clock, so they did give him the timeout when they looked over to him. So 3rd and 8 for the Cowboys. Just short of the first down.
Well, so like the Saints should take a timeout here, I would think. And looks like they did. Yeah, it felt like they did a few seconds late though. There might have been a fumble here. The Cowboys went for it on 4th down and around midfield. A surprising result, but he fumbled. And the Saints defense is celebrating like they've recovered this. And now 2 of the referees look like they're commiserating. Yes, ruling on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense. Wow. I guess that's the same as turning it over on downs, but...
Well, if Elliott's... It's really close. You don't see his elbow there, but he might have been...
Camera angle sucked. These camera angles have been abysmal 2 in a row here.
He was down before that ball came out. I think Dallas actually picks up the first down here.
I didn't get a good look at it, so I can't say one way or the other.
Did they pay John Brown more or Beasley more?
I would imagine John Brown. Cole Beasley got a lot, though, I think. Not too, actually, like $5 million. I'll take a look. John Brown's getting $1.25 million more. $9 million for John Brown. 7.75.
It's a lot of money for those guys.
I don't think so. I think that's what the market is. 7.25. Ruling on the field stands.
So I guess they have the ball coming out before his elbow hits. So good opportunity for the Saints to put up some points before the end of half.
White glove Bridgewater with a connection to Michael Thomas. It's a nice player to have to ease yourself back into playing the position. They're hurrying up a little bit here. Looks like a mismatch at the top of the screen. Bridgewater just made an incredible play. He was getting sacked, and he hit skin. I thought he was throwing it away. That was great.
Do you remember the first name of the D tackle? Is it Harrison Phillips for Buffalo?
I can't recall. I'll take a look. $99 Buffalo, Harrison.
Thanks.
Why can't I expand the top of this?
Expand the top of
The sheet, like,
F11.
there you go.
Is that what you're wanting?
No, I don't have the top.
didn't hit escape.
Oh, okay. It was weird. It was like a smaller version of the...
Well, you have two different screens. You have a full screen in Google Sheets, and you have full screen for the browser.
Interesting. Third and 10 for the Saints here in Cowboy territory. Bridgewater, that's a flag. Bridgewater got hit really low. Yeah. Yeah. I think that's on DeMarcus Lawrence. Yes, it is. Yeah, but now Collinsworth is arguing the intention behind that. I don't think that's not really how it works. If you do something, regardless of whether it's intentional or not, it's a penalty, unfortunately. Bridgewater with a laser beam to Ted Ginn Jr., who pretty much caused the interception earlier. There's only 20 seconds left. They got to go. And they got to snap this ball. They got to go. You got to go now. Oh, geez. They botched this big time. Kamara gets to the 1 yard line, and there's a timeout, but now there's another flag, too. Yeah, it did look like offsides, but here's a good, interesting thing. They're keeping the offense on.
If they have a play that's quick enough here, like a quick hitter play, and they can still get an incompletion, a touchdown, and still be able to kick the field goal after.
Teddy's inexperience caused all that time to get run off the clock, though. I hope the Saints get this. I like this. I like aggressive behavior. I don't think they actually have that timeout. I think the graphic on the screen is incorrect. Wow, that's good. They have enough time. So now they might kick a field goal. That was a good idea. It's nice that you trust Teddy Bridgewater to
make that play.
To do that, because that's a very precise play to try and get off. All right, they're going to have to... They should kick this field. I guess you can't challenge time. You know what's interesting about that play, running a play with 4 seconds left, is... I don't know, I feel like that's a home field advantage thing. Like, seconds seem to...
You feel like the clock operators?
Yeah, the way it goes. Wow, that was 2 seconds. I'm pretty sure I know which side Al Michaels bet on.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What side do you think?
No, I don't think he went silver and white, I'll tell you that much.
Who do you guys think will win the division with Colts, Texans, Jags, and Titans?
That's a very interesting question. I think the Colts have the best roster. The Texans are my least favorite of that grouping, so I almost have a bias, I guess, against them. That's a great question, Gavin.
Texans might have the best coaching.
Texans?
Yeah.
Hardly. It's below average, I would say. Wow, that's a great question. So we have to give you an answer off the cuff without research. I don't know. Tennessee's got some pretty big wins. They're so uneven, though. Tennessee's my favoritely built team out of all those. Favoritely, as if that's a word. Ooh, tough. I'm gonna say I'm gonna say Colts. That's my pick. And no way, Frank Reich is for sure the best coach out of those.
Yeah, that's fair.
Good question. Very good question.
What's the record for all those teams?
2-2 Colts, 2-2 Titans, 2-2 Jags, and 2-2 Texans. Texans lost to the Saints and the Panthers, and they beat the Chargers on the road. And I'm missing one other Saints or Texans victory. Oh, yeah, Texans beat the Jags by the narrowest of margins, 13-12. And I find Tirico kind of, I don't know, kind of dorky. He's a dork.
What did Shermer say?
See, Daniel Jones is smarter than all of us. Obviously, he had a question about Daniel Jones. He's brought some excitement to that team, and Shermer would have been, if they went 0-4, I don't know how he would have stayed. James O'Shaughnessy has gotten a couple touchdowns this year. It's funny.
Jacksonville?
Yeah. Might venture and say 3. Miami has the worst points differential in NFL history.
Through the first 4 games?
Yes.
They've been bad.
This could be an 0-16 team. It's possible. They'll probably win a game
Still
or two.
unlikely, but it could happen. Yeah, Gavin said they're all 2-2.
Yes. Pacing of these games is just difficult to follow.
Pacing of the game?
Well, yeah, like the broadcast.
Yeah, it just feels like it's commercial after commercial.
Absolutely. Wow. It showed something interesting. Nick Chubb ran like half a mile slower per hour than a guy who ran a 9.76 during his 100-meter 9.76 run. And that's with padding and stuff and not straight line. That's very impressive.
It's tough to compete against.
What was his 40 time? I thought he was a 4.5 guy. Because that's not 4.5 speed. Yeah, he ran a 4.52. I mean, that's good, but it's not. Holy, 29 reps on the bench.
Pretty good.
That's very strong.
He's a strong guy.
Oh, you'll like this. The rating committee said that Nick Chubb has a chance to become an NFL starter.
Who said that?
The rating committee, the prospect rating.
Yeah, whatever. That's lame, but
Pardon me?
so that's lame, but it's easy for us to say that right now.
Well, we didn't think so before the draft. We thought he was going to be a big-time player, and he is.
It's pretty rare I celebrate a draft pick, and that was one worth celebrating.
That was one of them. Interesting that the Titans picked Jeffrey Simmons, who won't be playing this year. He had the second highest grade behind Quinn and Williams in the NFL's like prospect rating.
Jeffrey Simmons.
Yeah.
Where did they end up selecting him?
19th overall. I don't remember Rashawn Gary making plays for the Packers defense.
I remember him making a tackle, but
He's just not popping off the screen to me.
I don't know if he's even played that much. I haven't done Green Bay's playing time yet, so couldn't tell you exactly.
Oh. Also getting the sentiment that Al Michaels bet the over.
Yeah.
Since neither quarterback seems to be lighting it up. Yeah, Cowboys in the over. That's not covering. Or New Orleans in the Lunder. Did I say Lunder? Under.
Saints start with the ball and they're up 6.
This feels like another penalty coming. Oh, no one's... It looked like a PI, but they're not going to get one. The intended receiver was Lil Jordan Humphrey. That's right. The guy's first name is Lil Jordan.
Lil.
Apostrophe. Jordan.
Mickey Hill, watching on my phone, can't see very well what numbers y'all crunching. I'm just going through and doing all the playing times for all the players. It is kind of hard to see, but to be honest, not very much. Not very entertaining, but I've got this going instead. Mickey, you're first overall right now. On the
Number one. I don't think that's a song. And I'm not much of a singer either. How is Mexican food?
Yeah. Yeah, how is cooking?
Well, his version of cooking. You need a lot of time to cook. Well, that's probably why I cook, because I have a lot of time on my hands. 3rd and short is stopped by the Dallas Cowboys defense. Kamara's not able to convert. This Eric McCoy has been a liability. Kamara also angled it terribly.
Woozy?
Yeah, Chidobe. As if there was a different one. He's got a cramp. He should take Sean Lee's advice and go on IR. That made me mad forever. Fajitas, bueno. I agree. Fajitas are delicious. The best part is when you like you have like fajitas for family dinner, and you have one of those multi-container type things. Then you can kind of make your own. I love that. What a punt. Oh. It could have been way better if you put front spin on it. But I think he was thinking I might kick this all the way to the 1. Drew Brees seems like a good teammate.
He's invested in this game.
Sean Lee could eat corn on the cob through a picket fence. Yeah, he's got that. He's got a tiny ball head. Yeah, he does. He does look like a bird. I just have a lot of hate for Sean Lee, only because I used to love him, how good a player he was, because he is good when he plays, but he doesn't have toughness. And for a linebacker, I mean, like a hamstring. I'm sorry, hamstring injuries. I don't have sympathy for. I mean, everyone was an athlete in some point in their life, and you can remember as a kid playing sports getting a hamstring injury. You just played. Oh, it hurts. Yeah, life hurts. And it's not tearing your hamstring; it's straining it. Come on. We have an election coming up in Canada, and all the commercials are really ramping it up. And none of them seem to say anything that stands out. They just want to trash the other party. That's standard. It's got to be something different.
McCaffrey only played 56 snaps out of 60.
Out of 60?
In week 3.
56 out of 60?
Yeah.
6-0.
Yeah.
Okay. He must have done something wrong. Play action pass. Caught. Amari Cooper. They're just highlighting how Marshawn Lattimore is getting the better of Amari Cooper. And then, ironically, Cooper makes a reception. I don't know if it was against Marshawn Lattimore, but...
How much did Carolina play Chris Hogan?
Chris Hogan, when he played on Carolina, he still does play Carolina.
No, how much did he get paid to go there?
Oh, he's barely playing.
No, that's why I'm interested to see. And Reggie Bonifant was the guy who stepped in and played snaps.
$1.45 million.
No, that's not that bad. I thought it was a lot more.
Cowboys with the ball, the 31-yard line. 2nd and 7. They're calling an audible. They have to snap the ball pretty quick here. They get it off. Corner blitz. Leaving a zone open for Randall Cobb. It's good quarterbacking by Prescott. The 3rd and 2. Ed Reed look-alike as they hang around on the Cowboys side. Excellent job. Pass broken up by Demario Davis.
Excellent. That was really impressive.
Oh, no.
Flag on the play.
It's probably holding against in the secondary, that'd be my guess. They called pass interference on Demario Davis. I want to get a look at this.
No way. That's crazy. Unless he pulls him. Is that on Jordan Chun?
Are you serious?
Who is that?
Jordan Chun got released, I believe.
They've been bringing him on and off the team, but I don't know who that was.
That was a brutal call. Defender really can't touch the receiver anymore. Like, you're just not allowed to.
Watching the play, I'm fine with it, but it's...
Pardon me?
Said watching the replay, I was fine with it.
You think that's pass interference?
Well, he did some stuff before.
I hardly would call it. I disagree. I'll admit I have a bias, and I wish they could clothesline people like Dick Knight, Train Lane in the 50s, but obviously we're not going to get that back. Lale Collins just did a fantastic job blocking Cameron Jordan, like fantastic. Excuse me, guys. I have like a small cold. Gargled a lot of salt water though, and I think I killed most of it. Can't believe how well that works. All the old remedies usually do. Mind you, I've always wondered what kind of medical remedies did people try until they realized, hey, this really doesn't work?
They still do that. Yeah.
What kind of gross stuff did they do?
My wife was telling me a few things that people still use, or it might have been you.
What? I am your wife.
Some sort of.
What a play.
Blake Jarwin with the catch.
Blake Jarwin's got some talent. Had a lot of talented tight ends roll through Cowboys.
He's made a couple of those seam catches this year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Big games. Can't be too bad if he's getting picked up with that arm. It looked like it was his arm that he was worried about.
A lot of nose piercings in the NFL going around.
guess it's the new craze.
I was thinking about getting one.
Sure.
Well, I want to look better for the viewers at home, folks at home.
Yeah, I'm sure Mickey's very worried about your...
He would be. He thinks, yeah, man, you should get a nose ring.
Well,
Maybe a face tattoo. Maybe one of those.
Yeah, you see Aaron Carter?
Aaron Carter got a face tattoo.
Yeah, Google it.
Gonna have to now.
Can't believe you don't even know that Aaron Carter got a face tattoo.
Yeah. I don't watch TMZ, buddy.
So lame. Well, now you do.
What is that?
Got like a chick tattooed on his face. This that Bears win today was pretty impressive considering
That was
how
very
many
good.
players they were missing. And to lose Trubisky, I know that it's not a downgrade, but
I like. Why would you want a tattoo on your face? Sorry, I can't get over stuff like that. Like, it's just bizarre to me. Men shouldn't be allowed to do anything cosmetic. All right, the Cowboys first and goal at the 2.
they shouldn't be allowed to do anything
No.
cosmetic.
No, nothing cosmetic. Men are utilitarian. They're not meant to be looked at.
Stickler for the rules.
Yeah, that's how I think. Women are beautiful things. Guys are gross-looking animals. That's what they are. And obviously, I have a little bias there because look at my body.
Good cover.
Yeah. Second and goal from the 1. Yeah, this is standard Cowboys. So for every team in the NFL that wonders how to run a red zone offense, at least when you get down to the 2, 3, and 4 yard line, that's how you do it. You get a running back that will plow his body with a low center of gravity as hard as he can and do it multiple times.
Well, it helps when you have one of the best O-lines and you're going up against the Saints defense.
Yeah, but that's regardless. That's the right strategy. Wonder if Mickey Hill has any relation to Taysom Hill or Josh Hill on the Saints.
So you're saying
I don't think Hill is a very common name. Or maybe he's related to Troy Hill on the LA Rams. There's a chance. Brian Hill, running back, Atlanta. Justice Hill, running back, Baltimore. Oh, and Tyreek Hill. I like how I came up with all those other ones and then forgot that one. Camus Grugier Hill. I forgot about him.
Well, it could only be half related.
Yeah, he's only half related. Like, as if that's even a thing. So you're only related to one side, so you're supposed to be related to both sides, Big Rye? I didn't know you were into, that type of thing, but you are what you are. New Orleans is still covering, but they're down 10-9 here, and they're starting from their own 25. Nice run by Alvin Kamara, who's been rather quiet this game. These guys should be wearing gloves when they do the show, or at least not have the camera pan lower. The liver spots on these guys is at Hall of Fame level. Talking about Al Michaels and Chris Collingsworth. You must drink cocktails in between the taping. Holy. Or either they hang out with Aikman and Buck too much.
That's where I was going next.
Wow, Kamara is stuffed at 2nd and 1. You're hard pressed to find a linebacker who's capable of doing that. That was first round draft pick Leighton Vander Esch. That's a great tackle. All right, now that's just good play by the Saints. We need 1 yard. Put the big slab of beef in, Latavius Murray. Although I do think he's the same weight as Kamara, they just seem to run with completely different styles. A lot more finesse from Kamara. The one thing about Alvin Kamara, though, I'm going to say is Latavius Murray, is he runs with a very high center of gravity sometimes, but flea flicker. No one's open though. Bridgewater gets a pass, gets to Michael Thomas, who's being marked by Sean Lee, oddly enough, who is clutching his leg a little bit. I wonder if that's if I'm going to get my wish. Yeah, Murray's 230, so he's got 15 pounds on Kamara.
Doesn't look like Sean Lee's out there this play.
Yeah.
And it looked like number 30 got hurt on that hit, but he got up.
First down, Saints. That's a good non sequitur. Males aren't allowed to do anything cosmetic.
And then I'd say nice cover up. But it'd only be funny if I was wearing makeup.
If which, sorry?
If I was wearing makeup.
You are wearing makeup. I see that lip liner.
I've got the Sean Payton collection.
Yeah. I prefer using my mascara. Irrelevant by Derek Carr.
I'm gonna show up dressed dressed like. I'll come up with it soon enough.
They're running all over him right now. They're sprinkling in Latavius Murray at the right moments.
Show up with the Michael Landsberg collection.
Oh, Michael Landsberg, yeah. Was it? He's one surgery away from working in Thailand. That was a good joke. Kamara on another run. Wow, with great balance. Kamara has incredible balance. Kamara, wow. Almost got out of the clutches of Jeff. Speaking of his balance, Kamara they're showing his practicing his balance. And this doesn't surprise me. This is the next level training. Because he really does have... Because we don't find him that fast or that powerful. Like what?
He's super powerful for his size.
For his size.
That's the thing, is that you look at him and you think like, oh, it's Chris Johnson. And then
He's still 215 though.
Yeah, but look at him. He's not 215 pounds.
Yeah, they say that. He looks like 200 or 195 even.
Yeah. He looks 195, and then he has runs where he looks like he's 230 pounds with the power he runs with. That's what makes him so good.
Nice sneak by Bridgewater to pick up the first down. Play action. Oh, dropped by Josh Hill at the 3-yard line. That ball was a little high and erratic, but that's a catchable ball. I want to know what people's problems with Teddy Bridgewater is. Hill should have caught that ball.
It's more what the press has done to. They besmeared his name when it came to the draft for essentially.
How did he drop to the 32nd pick? He
didn't wear gloves to his pro day, and he was wildly inaccurate in front of all the team scouts. So every team just kind of dismissed him. And then he decided he was going to wear a glove. The guy threw with a glove on for his entire college career and played awesome. And then he took his glove off for a pro day, and all of a sudden everyone went, we don't want him.
Well, they got a good deal then, the Vikings. That knee injury really screwed everything up, though.
Well, when he got hurt, he was playing so well. I was almost surprised that they let him go.
Well, it was an injury. Like, it's just kind of how it works.
Well, I guess they didn't think he was ever going to come back.
Well, he could have lost his leg with that injury. That's what it was.
Yeah. I guess Alex Smith's under a similar situation right now.
Alex Smith is, when he comes back, if he does, I don't know if he will actually.
I don't know. He's still hanging around, but
I wouldn't want to play for the Redskins right now. I'll tell you that much. They've kind of moved on without him, as they should.
I wouldn't say that. They're struggling right now.
Yeah, but like there's a plan in place.
That team would be good right now if they had Alex Smith.
It'd be better. They'd be 2-2 probably.
Well, Daniel Jones had 2 interceptions today. How many would Alex Smith have had?
0. Daniel Jones is on the Giants. You're talking about Dwayne Haskins, who had 3.
Didn't Washington play the Giants this week?
Yeah.
So I'm saying if Alex Smith was playing today, they probably wouldn't have had any turnovers.
Yeah, that's true.
Different game when you
I get that's true.
handicap 2 turnovers.
Well, you're +2, yeah.
What would the line have been for the Giants Skins if Alex Smith was starting?
Oh, that's tough.
Pick 'em?
Maybe.
If it was Alex Smith and Eli Manning, what would the line have been?
Skins -2.5, I think.
Yeah.
They'd probably be 3-point favorites actually, because they would have done well throughout. Like they probably would have beaten the Bears with Alex Smith.
Yeah.
The New Orleans Elvis that's out there, that's one of my favorite costumes. He's a keeper for Taysom Hill. He's going to lose 2. He could have just chucked it. Can you underhand throw it out of bounds?
Yep. I want to say either Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson's done that before. The only thing I worry about on some of those plays is if linemen are down the field far enough, you can't throw it, but
He's got it. Oh. And he got hit in the head. There we go. There we go. They got one earlier against them. They're going to get one for them. Jalen Smith is pleading his case that he didn't commit a foul, but I don't think pleading your case is how it works. I'll tell you what, if this isn't somehow, because I agree that this is really lame, but they called. Oh my goodness! If that's not a foul, then you can't call the one Von Bell did. It doesn't make any sense. You can't have it both ways. The Saints got jagged. This is like just. I don't think this should be a foul, but if the other one is, then this one is. That's a total. It's a joke. That's a joke. The Saints on the exact same hit got a flag against them, and then not for them. And that's a significant play. That's a game-changing play. Believe me, I don't like the rule. That almost got blocked. I like how Jalen Smith... Well, maybe that's what they didn't do. Von Bell didn't go complaining to the referee. Maybe that's why. Carl Cheffers is reffing doing a horrible job, him and his crew. Just not that they're getting things wrong. Well, they are, but it's the consistency of everything. The marketing of this auto commercial is amazing.
Yeah, you like it?
Yeah, because they're making... The Nissan Rogue is it's a chick car. Like my mom had one. So they marketed it to the two women big time because they made the dad look like he's stupid and he's going to wreck it because it's his feature. Oh, the old stupid dad. He's so stupid with all his wealth and power. It's kind of like the guy who can't use Q-tips and he puts it too far into his ear.
That's such a good commercial.
Or when he can't untangle a hose. Like, oh, I'll never get this. Well, I met they had the international lacrosse championships in like near here.
Yeah.
And the final was Iroquois Nation against Canada.
Yeah.
So, but this is the part I found really interesting. You know the player pool for the Iroquois Nation? 80. Really? They had 80 people to choose from. And they beat everyone except Canada. They beat the U.S. Apparently they're really good and they're very physical. So, I mean, Native people invented lacrosse, but a pool of 80, that's impressive. It's a good underdog story.
It's pretty good.
Garrett looks nonplussed. Cowboys run on first down. They're down to the Saints. The Saints covering as 3-point underdogs at home. Yeah, I'm sure this will be a flag against the Saints, and it's not, thankfully. No, Joe, we like the Saints. We bet on the Saints. We like the Saints. They're up 12-10 as well.
All that being said, Dallas is favored to win tonight by 2.5 points.
And they currently have the ball, but it's 3rd and 6. I don't know if they're going to get this one off. They have to get it off now. Nice pass defense. Oh my! Another flag against the New Orleans Saints. They don't let him play at all. I want to see this. Von Bell. And they got the number wrong now. Oh! 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 They got so jagged. Oh, even the Chris Collingsworth is disgusted.
What do they call?
Holding, and he touched him within 5 yards, and he didn't hold. He had his hand here, like this. Like this refereeing, is very egregious. This is really poor refereeing. It's costing the Saints points.
I forgot about Tavon Austin.
Yeah, because how could you remember him?
Well, he's been...
He had one good game for the Colts 4 years ago. Like, get over it. Against the Colts again. Yeah, for the Rams.
Well, I just forgot he was on the team. I know he wasn't... he was injured at the start of the year.
Well, it's good. It's a good idea to get 5'6", 160-pound receivers as first-round picks.
Yeah.
Here's another 3rd and 2. Let's just give the Cowboys a bogus penalty. And they drop it, but I'm sure that's a flag somehow. No, it's not. Amazing. The Saints have been jagged at least 4 points in this game. This is the worst one I've seen in a long time, in my opinion. It's a mental mistake by Randall Cobb making the drop. Ooh, bounces for a touchback. Takes a fortuitous Saints bounce. Kamara, Bridgewater, and the Saints offense due to take up 12-10. Yeah, these games go slow. I used to love the Sunday Nighter, but it's I don't know. I feel like it's been very plodding lately. It's almost like football has pacing issues like baseball.
Well, one of the goals they had last year was to speed up the games.
In baseball and in football,
Football as well.
I don't recall that, but I mean, if that was their goal, then I don't think they've met it.
Well, their thing was trying to get rid of the.
If that's their goal, then why did they add all these reviews and stuff? And then instead of the reviews being short, they're extra long, and they just add commercials. It's pretty bad.
Yeah. I agree.
Kamara just did an excellent job. There's a flag, though. It's probably holding on New Orleans. Of course it is. Another hold by Andrus Pete. Excuse me, guys. I have a little bit of a cold. It's almost done, though. It's not bad having a cold for 2 days. That's it. Screen to Kamara. Very nice patience. He only picks up 6, but
Sean Lee back out there.
Sean Lee surprisingly out there. Maybe his hangnail he recovered. Michael Thomas gets a reception, makes a weird fumble and picks up his own fumble, but there's in no threat. 3rd and 4. Nice. Michael Thomas again, there's another penalty. It's a penalty against the Saints again. The Saints are getting jobbed here. I want to see if this is... I want to see this before I make judgment, but... Wow, okay. They picked it up. They picked it up. Very nice. Oh, man. They threw a flag so needlessly. Al Michaels is curious who referee Carl Sheffers was listening to when pressing his earpiece into his ear. It's probably Goodell, like, hey, can you job the Saints a little bit more? I'll be honest. There's a little bit of lag, and I kind of missed this play, but Bridgewater's. They even switched cameras. I guess one of the cameras went down. Bridgewater's play action selling isn't very good. I got to be honest. Is that a sack then?
Yep.
Oh, that's nice, DeMarcus Lawrence. Okay. Third and 6 around midfield.
You're not going to get this off. They wasted timeout.
It's a very Will Lutz game, eh?
Yeah.
Atlanta's 1-3. I just realized that's unfortunate. That's Dan Quinn could be a little bit hot seat. I'm thinking.
A little bit.
What do you mean? You don't think that's?
I don't think his job's in jeopardy right now.
I think that it is. At least by the end of the year, if they do 6-10 with no injuries or 5-11, I think it's curtains for him. Big sack for the Cowboys on 3rd and 6. Robert Quinn, who had a strange snake dance. I like how you take a timeout so that the other defense can figure out what you're doing.
Armstead just didn't know what the snap count was. Didn't move.
That's really unfortunate. You took a timeout. You really should know. But that goes back to what I said earlier about perhaps Teddy Bridgewater's cadence is not it's not as familiar with an offensive line who's had the same quarterback for all of their careers with the New Orleans Saints. They're taking another TV timeout after a kick. This is unreal, man. Cowboys got the ball at their own 10-yard line, trailing the Saints by 2. He just gave a horrible spot to Amari Cooper.
He wasn't done. He marked forward progress. So
Okay, good with the beanie and the bean bag.
no, he wasn't done getting to the spot yet. He had to stop because they were in front of him.
Ah, correct.
What a play by Klein.
Their linebackers are playing great, the Saints linebackers.
Yeah. I was surprised when they picked up Alonzo. And then they asked Peyton, why did you pick up Alonzo? And he's like, because he was available.
That's a great Belichickian line.
Anytime you got it, you can pay Kiko Alonso $7 million, you have to do it.
Yeah. They think they're going to win it all. So, I mean, they're willing to pay a premium. What a play. Almost an interception to Marshawn Lattimore.
Yeah, I thought that was picked off.
Saints take over at the 38, up 2 points. I wonder if Tony Romo really does wear Skechers slip-ons.
It's possible. Got a feeling a lot of athletes just get sent stuff.
Of course they do.
It's like you around the house.
It is. I break everything, eh? Nice, easy play by Teddy. The pass to Ted Ginn Jr. to start this drive. Up 2 with just over 5 minutes left. And the ball. Kamara with a tough 2. 3rd and 1. Third and 1 pitch to Kamara, who's going to get a first down. Nice job.
So there's 4 minutes left in this game. Dallas still has all 3 timeouts. So it's this New Orleans offense, this Dallas defense, and the clock. Kamara with 84 yards.
And a Miss Cleo haircut. Latavius Murray with a vicious 6 yards. Protecting the ball was his main objective there, and he succeeded. And Vander Esch even getting knocked back a little bit by Latavius Murray, and that's a rare instance. Nice. You can't run a better finishing drive than this one, can you?
It's been good so far. Clock keeps moving. Dallas still has all 3 timeouts.
Yeah.
New Orleans is gonna have one more play here before the 2-minute warning.
Third and 1. You got to get it. You got to get it, boys.
Because of the 2-minute warning, they have the option to throw or pass here.
Yeah. I would run, though. It's 1 yard. And they're going to get it. What a job. What a job by the Saints. 6 runs in a row and 2 first downs. That's how you do it.
Well, you play to win the game.
You certainly do, Herm.
So if the Saints can hold on to this lead, it'll be at 11-3 for the weekend.
So it's strong.
Mickey's also got New Orleans, so he's still going to be 1 game up on us.
We need Pittsburgh then. Close the gap.
Yeah.
Michelle Tafoya back for another year. She's getting younger, I heard. Just a force field of defenders in front for Kamara.
I wonder where is it in San Fran or is it in Cleveland?
Well, it said verse Browns.
Yeah.
So it's in San Fran.
Yeah, you're right. I was trying to compare to the other games, and the New England one had at, so.
Stay in bounds.
Zach Line thought about it for a second.
He did, and then he...
Then he realized.
what he's talking about. Al Michaels is talking about getting yards for a field goal. And I'm like, what? You want a first down here? The game's over.
Yeah. That's trouble.
Well, there's a big sack by Jalen Smith. They're out of field goal range. It's about the worst result for New Orleans. But they're going to punt the ball. Drew Brees looks very visibly worried.
Because Dallas has a good shot at winning this game now.
He should have just dived forward when, you know what I mean, to keep the clock moving, maybe lose a yard or two. All right. Let's see if they can do it. If Dak throws an interception, I lose fantasy.
Really?
In the Dennis League. Well, we got to cover.
Most likely.
Yeah, unless there's a touchdown.
And the Saints secondary.
Oh!
That's
Oh!
for New Orleans. New Orleans with the sack.
This is big. And Tyron Smith is hurt.
So they have no timeouts left.
Oh,
They're
man.
gonna
And
stop-
Smith's actually hurt.
They're going to stop the clock and give a 10-second runoff. And then if there's another injury later on, there's going to be a flag.
Oh. He got rolled up on Smith. Oh! Smith rolled his ankle. Because Prescott landed on his leg.
I think he's going to be okay.
Yeah.
It was pretty minor, but it still was unexpected and it happened.
He's a tough guy, man. He just because he tried to stand up to play the next snap.
Yeah.
But that's why you pay Tyron Smith $100 million. Now, I got to be honest here, guys.
I'm not sure who that is.
That's Cameron Fleming. If it's me, you win the game with a safety here. I would be throwing a lot of fire at Cameron Fleming right now. Oh, Prescott dumps out to Elliott, who's fighting to the. This is dumb. He's fighting to get out of bounds, but it's not happening.
So clock's live, 54 seconds left. Dallas actually did a pretty good job getting up to the line of scrimmage. A good completion, but he stays in bounds. It's Amari Cooper. They get the first down, 40 seconds left. Took him 12 seconds to make the last completion. It looks like New Orleans took a timeout.
Oh, it's under review. This is what I was talking about. They're getting jobbed here now, Dallas, because if they have to review this, They're taking 10 seconds away.
The Saints are getting jobbed here. Dallas gets a free timeout. This is a completion. Nothing happened.
Yeah, but there's 10 seconds off from the total here. It'll be 24 seconds.
Maybe from when he caught the ball, but there was 10 seconds taken off after that. Dallas is regrouping right now. They're coming up with 2 or 3 of their
I guess that's true.
plays.
That's one way of looking at it.
The clock stopped. This is a completion. Catches it. He's tackled in bounds.
Oh, man. It was almost so close by Davenport getting a sack fumble.
So we'll see what they do with the clock. Right now they have it at 34 seconds.
It's supposed to be runoff, though. That's... What? They didn't run off the time?
That was incomplete, but... I like how the refs aren't doing anything. I guess they just called it a touchdown, even though this is all going to be overturned.
The refs are just standing bewildered. This is the worst ref game, in my opinion, in a long, long time.
That's closer than I thought. It looks like he got the ball off, though.
Why isn't Elliott being more...
Because it was a forward pass to him.
Well, it doesn't matter. He played to the whistle. If there's no whistle, you tackle.
It looks like a throw to me.
It does to me,
it's
too.
It's really hard to get that much velocity on a fumble.
Yeah. They call it an incomplete.
This is where Dak gets in a little bit of trouble. Is he's not a guy that's good at forcing the ball down the field.
Amari Cooper with another offensive pass interference. I don't know. I don't know what pass interference is anymore. Well, he quadruple coverage. Dak Prescott chucked it up to Cooper. That's the best chance that they had, probably. And the other thing too, the probability of a flag is like pretty high.
Three-man rush from the Saints. Big catch, but they're probably not going to be able to get this clocked in time.
See, wow, that was fast.
That was pretty good. So 2 seconds left on the clock. Dallas is going to have one last chance to pretty much put it in the end zone or draw a flag. The fat guy doesn't have to sweat it that much now that he's up 3.
I'm up 3, so now I can't lose. New Orleans is taking a timeout. It's a strong win by New Orleans.
Just depends who you ask. The Saints are at home. Dallas is good, but the Saints are good too. Was there that much of a drop off between Breeze and Bridgewater?
Yeah. Not like it's big.
I don't think it's that big. Is it a 2-win difference?
It might be.
So what were the Saints before? A 10-win team? And now they're an 8-win team with Bridgewater?
Perhaps.
You think they're an average team?
Yes, maybe average, slightly above average. We were an 8.5.
And where would you put Dallas?
Dallas feels like a 10-win team. They're built very well. I like how they're built.
So that means it'd be a pick 'em.
Intercepted. Marcus Williams.
Breeze is pretty happy about that win. Well, it's another cover for us, and you can not sweat that.
Look how close that was, eh?
Yeah. It's surprising Prescott only put up 5 points fantasy-wise.
Yeah. I won because I planned my defense 2 weeks in advance. Chargers.
That sure helped. A win's a win.
Chargers and Landry, that's 28 points right there.
More importantly, 11-3.
That's very good. It's a nice weekend. Oh, man. He got smoked.
Well, we're good for 57.4 for the season so far.
We're in second?
We are in second place.
It's impressive.
There are a couple people who have picked less games.
We have a higher percentage, but that's...
Yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then, you can count some of these. All of these people have picked less than a week. Tough for some of the competitors. That's why we do this.
Yeah, it's a nice week.
Well, it's if Pittsburgh wins,
Covers.
if Pittsburgh covers, we'll win this week. If the Bengals cover, Steelers wins. And if that's
it.
Those are the only two options. Because Steelers is one win better than Confidence and Mickey Hill. Impressive couple weeks from Godfidence IQ.
Yeah.
And on the overall leaderboard, let's see. Yeah, Godfidence 21-8, 72%. That's pretty good.
Very good. Nice week from Uncle Boobs.
Yeah, 8-5. Actually, sorry, let's update this.
Yeah. 9-5.
Ironic that Steelers is going to win the week is if the Steelers don't cover. I'm sure he's hoping for Pittsburgh to win by 3.
Yes, Mickey Hill. Somewhere Dylan Toddfield did just bust a nut. I can imagine his company when doing that, but
let's see. I don't think Dylan had a hot week.
no, he probably only got the Saints game right.
Dylan went 4-10. Whoever was 0 for at the start has picked it up. Lowest we got is 2. Yeah. My Vikings just got butt effed on national television.
Who said that?
TC. Quick
Yes.
prediction on the Vikings record. What do you think, fat guy?
Tough. I think I still think the Vikings are pretty good. Like, this is just a tough defense to run on, and they weren't able to. Anyone who doesn't have a strong defensive line is probably going to lose to the Vikings. Yeah, I take a look at schedule. It'd be tough.
So Vikings are 2-2, somehow last in the division because the Lions have that tie. But that division's still anybody's. That's to say that they're done.
That division's good in general. That division's really good.
It's good. Vikings are in last place. They're probably the best team.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
Yeah, it is. Cousins needs to play better.
Yeah, but they don't need that much out of Cousins.
I know.
They played so far.
But in that game they did. They couldn't run the ball.
They beat the Falcons, which was a good win. They lost to the Packers in Green Bay, which is expected.
Yeah.
They beat the Raiders at home, which is expected. And they've lost the Bears at home, which was, technically from a bookmaker perspective, pretty even. But that's not a game they have to win. It's a nice game if they win. Next week is a game. They play in New York against the Giants. That's a game I expect the Vikings to win.
Look at these murderers' rows, though. Did you see that? They have to go to Seattle. They have to go to Kansas City. Like, come on, those aren't easy.
Those aren't easy, but I think they match.
They're going
up
to Dallas.
They match up well against the Chiefs.
Yeah,
Dallas will be a tough game.
Dallas will be. I don't think they're winning the Dallas game. Chiefs will be able to run on at least, but it's still the Chiefs.
Yeah, quarter of the season already done. TC says we have a championship team, but it all depends on how well Cousins can play. We got burned all game by an underneath running back check down that was called 15 plus times because Mike Zimmer refuses to call man coverage. And then Mickey Hill said Cousins has to have a run game support.
Yeah, I would agree with that. The thing when you're talking about check downs, I would assume that most passes by the Bears are check downs, regardless who's playing quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. I'd have to rewatch that game to kind of see exactly what happened. We had it on. You might have watched it a little more closely than I did.
I did.
And the Bears' defense was just
Bears' defense was getting pressure, and they were stopping the run. Like that's such an easy formula to win.
Yeah.
They did that without Akeem Hicks and Roquan Smith. Like that's.
Yeah, who else was? They were also missing Kyle Long. There was a few inactives that they had.
Oh, Jeff Roblo's here. Yes, Winger is definitely playing the Super Bowl halftime show, right?
Yeah, they're gonna be right in between J-Lo and Shakira. Yeah, they had Roquan Smith, Kyle Long, Akeem Hicks, Taylor Gabriel, and Mike Davis all inactive. All guys that play meaningful snaps for that team.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're probably wanting to run away from Khalil Mack, TC, but I don't know. It's just a tough ask. I don't know how to. I don't know how I would have planned differently, to be honest.
Stefanski also refuses to run outside runs when the Bears stuff the middle of the whole game. Yeah, that's tough. It's just the Bears have so much speed at linebacker that they're hard to run laterally on. So you kind of have to go up the middle. And without Akeem Hicks playing, that's kind of where you want to attack.
The thing too is I'm surprised the Bears secondary tackles well, which is rare.
Yeah, that's true. They have good safeties. Their safety play sure helps.
What Amukamara can tackle.
Eddie Jackson's just an excellent player.
Yeah, Eddie Jackson's he's more of a ball hawk, but he can still tackle too. Clinton Dix can surely tackle.
I think I just finished the Bears. Yeah, Eddie Jackson, Clinton Dix, Kyle Fuller, Prince Amukamara, Buster Screen, and then Mac, Floyd, Aaron Lynch, Danny Trevathan, Roquan Smith.
That defense is loaded, man.
This is the guy that you want to take advantage of, Nick
Kwiatkowski. He barely made the team.
Yeah, but he played well enough today.
He did in his 11 snaps.
Well, that was last week. This week, without Danny Trevathan playing, a guy who plays essentially every snap. The guy's only missed 5% of the defensive snaps this year. That's a place where you kind of want to attack that team. And then on the inside, there was no Bilal Nichols, who's played some snaps. No Akeem Hicks. So you got Eddie Goldman, Roy Robertson-Harris, who played very well, Nick Williams, and probably a little bit of Abdullah Anderson. I love being able to look at snap breakdowns to see who's playing where and how much. All right, fat guy. You want to call it a night?
We're going to conclude this broadcast. Thank you for joining us. We will see you tomorrow.
Yeah, see you guys tomorrow, and we'll have the pick video out late tomorrow night. So keep your eyes on that, and thanks for everybody for making your picks. You have a good night, Jeff. Hopefully that hot tub's treating you well.
Yeah.
And DC, don't sweat the Vikings' losses here. They're going to win some. They're going to lose some. And Mickey Hill, congratulations on being first
number one
overall in the pick video. That's very impressive because we've had a good start. You've had a good start as well. You can tell the similar thinking with our picks. And too bad about the handicapping. The handicapping picks probably didn't do as well. But these market factors are just way too strong to ignore. So y'all guys have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow.